Hello, Brian from Classroom Guidance with the 8th of our skill summaries, demystifying the world of work. So subscribe and follow to keep yourself informed and up to date for all things careers. At the end of this video, you will know all about the construction occupations, the best future-proof professions within this sector, the opportunities, the makeup of the workforce, and the small matter of how much you can make. The construction industry has been in the news a lot lately, especially with the housing shortage we're experiencing. So surely the future growth of this sector is guaranteed. Well, let's take a look. The construction sector comprises of construction operatives, painters and decorators, plumbers, bricklayers and plasterers, architects, civil engineers, carpenters and joiners, other construction trades such as curtain wallers, steel fixers and glazers. The overall picture for this sector is healthy, even taking into account the wobble in the employment figures due to COVID. Around 134,000 people are employed in this sector, which equates to 5.6% of the Irish workforce. The majority, nearly 3/4, working in the construction sector itself, as opposed to industry or professional activities. A whopping 95% of these workers are male. Girls may not think they have a role here, but they're wrong to overlook this sector as an option, especially now with the emphasis on growing the number of girls taking up apprenticeships. A massive 91% are in full-time employment, 83% of workers are Irish nationals, 28% of these workers have third-level qualifications, while over 50% have a further ed or an apprenticeship qualification. The jobs with the biggest growth were those of bricklayers and plasterers. Demand for construction roles is still growing and they continue to appear on the difficult to fill lists. So let's have a look at these roles in a little more detail. There is a shortage of civil engineers and construction project managers. Put simply, civil engineers have to come up with solutions to complex problems and implement them. They literally shape the world we live in. There are many different specialisms within civil engineering, including environmental, structural, municipal, transport and geotechnical. They are split broadly into two types. Consultants, who focus on design work and spend more time in the office or working with clients. And the contractors or construction project managers, who are usually based on site and are more involved with keeping an eye on the physical construction. Civil engineers are usually graduates with a degree in civil engineering or related areas like structural or construction engineering. But there are plenty of other PLC and apprenticeship courses available. The salary range for civil engineers is 35 to 80,000 euro. Construction managers usually have a degree in construction management or civil engineering, but there are plenty of other PLC and apprenticeship routes available too, and the salary range for construction project managers is 60 to 120,000. There is a shortage of quantity surveyors. Quantity surveyors are people responsible for calculating and managing the costs relating to projects, from helping create initial estimates to finalizing the complete budget requirements. No two projects are ever the same, and there's a great deal of variety, which can be quite interesting for some who don't like routine. To gain a professional recognition as a surveyor in Ireland, you need to complete a degree accredited by the Society of Chartered Surveyors or the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. If you have a different degree, you can still become a surveyor by taking a postgraduate conversion course. There is an apprenticeship entry route for quantity surveyor in development, and it should be ready by next year. The salary range for quantity surveyor is 35 to 110,000. There is a shortage of carpenters. Carpenters typically work on large construction projects. They use drawings to decide what is needed for the job. They cut materials according to spec before assembling them. Cabinet makers are primarily involved in making cabinets, often for kitchens, shelving, furniture and fitting out rooms or shops. The official entry route for carpenter joiner is through undertaking an apprenticeship. It is also worth noting that Solis are now offering grants to employers to encourage the increased recruitment of women apprenticeships. So this is one area the girls should definitely check out. The salary range for carpenter is 24,000 to 48,000. There is a shortage of curtain wallers, steel fixers, erectors, fitters and glazers. Curtain wallers are part of a site-based installation team. Their main responsibility includes the setting out and fixing of the main grid work in accordance with approved drawings. This job can involve working at extreme heights and the use of specialist equipment to handle and install the products. Steel fixers follow engineering plans to install and tie together steel bars and mesh that is used to strengthen concrete on construction projects. They also work closely with engineers, steel erectors and other construction workers. Steel erectors handle and work on different frames of steel beams to construct steel structures. They upload, stack and lift prefabricated steel into place, interpret and follow drawings to weld beams and columns into place. They also work outside, often at extreme heights. There is no specific third level or apprenticeship program for these occupations, but any construction, engineering or metal fabrication based apprenticeships will be useful. The salary range for curtain wallers is 37,000 to 62,000 and the salary range for steel fixtures and erectors is 25 to 42,000. Fitters and glazers examine drawings to determine job requirements, install pre-glazed wooden, metal or PVC framework and cut, fit and set glass into windows, doors, shop fronts and other structural frames. There is no specific third level or apprenticeship program for this occupation and training will be on the job. Salary range is 23 to 48,000. A word on plumbers, painters, decorators, construction operatives and elementary. Plumbers will be required in relation to Ireland's targets for a low carbon economy and the work linked to alternative renewable energy sources for both retrofit and new build activities. They will probably be required to upskill for these tasks. The official entry route for a plumber is through undertaking a plumbing apprenticeship. The salary range for plumbers is 37 to 53,000. Painters and decorators. Painters and decorators are likely to be in demand for the cosmetic work resulting from retrofitting activities. The official entry route for a painter-decorator is through undertaking an apprenticeship. The salary range for painters and decorators is 35,000 to 49,000. Construction operatives and elementary. Although scaffolders, ground workers and pipe layers can be found on the difficult to fill list, future demand for these roles will depend on the level of construction activity in the coming years, so watch this space for these jobs. The official entry routes for these occupations is through undertaking an apprenticeship. The salary range for these roles is 35,000 to 54,000. So to sum up, government have targets to reduce carbon emissions through installing renewable energy heating sources and retrofitting. These targets and plans to address the housing shortage over the next decade are expected to increase demand for construction-related skills and may lead to future skills and labour shortages. Upskilling and reskilling of those already employed will also be required. In the short term, the recovery in employment for these occupations will depend on a return to full construction and economic activity. But the long term for this sector looks very healthy. So start looking into construction degrees, apprenticeships, further education courses and traineeships now. If you haven't already, subscribe to stay informed. Thank you.